So guys, hello again and welcome to the episode 2 of flying across Ryanair network, and we are in Stansted. That's the position we landed on previous flights, and we are on stand, I think 60 to right, and it is correct, so it's Terminal D, or actually Abram Delta. And yeah, it's getting busy. When I arrived it was super empty, but now it's getting busy. So the second leg of our tour, we're gonna fly from Stansted to Eindhoven, which is one of the, I think it's one of the shortest flights around the network, so it's quite interesting one. We have the airplane in transit, so basically I just arrived, I didn't switch off anything else. So that's how you would start to prepare for the next flight. So once we landed from the previous flight, the first thing I would have to decide would be how much fuel to take, and I do it from the flight plan that I have on board. And the flight plan I have, all the weathers, no times, everything, you can find it in the comment section. So feel free to check it, and I have Stansted to Eindhoven. The required fuel is 5523. That's not a long flight, but the alternate is quite far away, so we're gonna fly on level 190, which is quite usual for this kind of flight. So it is saying 5,600, and I will take like one extra, so I go to fuel weight balance. Payloads, and we have 4,500, that's not enough. So we go fuel required to 5,700 and enter. That should give us takeoff weight of 66.2, zero fuel is 60.7, fuel track coal, and yes, good. Once we are the fuel track, the one guy goes for the walk around, so we give him a wheel well light as well. We are boarding, so all going up. I think it's boarding already. Yeah, that's quite cool one. This guy is so relaxed. He looks so fucking relaxed, to be honest. And yeah, once we've done this one, the pilot flight will go to the FMC and prepare for the next flight route. And we go from Stansted. Why are you not going? Stansted to Eindhoven, Echo Hotel. And there we go. It's Romeo, Yankee, Romeo. The call sign is actually 8320. We're gonna depart from runway 22, and the routing for this flight, it's not too long, to be honest. We go to Clacton, then Papa 44 to Ratlo, Romeo Alpha Tango Lima Oscar. From Ratlo, Mike 197, not 97, it's gonna be 197. Into Redfa, Romeo Delta, Foxtrot Alpha, and from Redfa it's going to be arrival. So departure, Stansted 22, Clacton 1 Echo, it's Arnold departure, it's the most popular departure going to be from Stansted. And I will demonstrate you how does the VNAP work on 737, how it makes life easier with the Clacton 1 Echo. And that's departure, arrival. We do expect actually runway 21, that's gonna be our less, I think it's X-ray. Yeah, initially we can go with less Zulu 21, and arrival gonna be Redfa 3 Echo in the box. And we have to check if we do have any discontinuities in here. So okay, we go to the plan mode, and we have to check how does it look like in here. So Redfa, Photo CRL, Volika, Tupac, and yeah, there is something not correct in here, but I will activate it and execute it to see what the FMC will say. He basically wants to come to here and then turn left to center fix, turn back or something like this. That doesn't make sense though. We go to rival, we have to select the transition. This one, nah, doesn't look correct at all. Maybe the killer one. Come on, kilo, please. Looks a little bit better, but it's still not good for me. But I will have to sort it out during the flight. The fuel is 5.7, so fueling is finished. I switch on the belts, and we go
Captain Hudson on the fasten seatbelt sign. We direct that all passengers take your seat at this time and please fasten your seatbelt.
maybe, and then center fix.
Just as a reminder, we cannot leave the gate until all aerodynamics are properly
Center
away.
fix
All overhead
after,
bins are closed and all
after
passengers
Echo
are
to November.
seated.
It should make some kind of sense at least. Nah, not at all, huh? Echo to November, final fix, runway 21, Aftertaker. That's already the missed approach, but I go to, yeah, just below this one. And it would make some more sense. Actually, Eindhoven is military airport, so we have to be careful as well. And yes, the fuel is 2.8, 2.4 is minimum. So we go to the back to FMC 6 as usual. The minimum fuel is 2.6, 2.5. Zero fuel weight. I have 61.8 and the iPad is saying 60.8, so that's 1 ton less. Makes sense. Cruising level 190. That's low level, but we do expect it on this kind of flights. Average wind is 260 by 40. Deviation is plus 10 degrees. And transition 6000, 6001. And I put 6001, so if I have it Clacton at 6000, it's showing 6000 like on the chart. And if I go to 6000, back in here, Clacton will show, it will show flight level 60, which is not really correct because we do expect to be at 6000 feet. So I go 6001 and N1 limit, 22k rate, takeoff. We go flaps 5, we do have dry speeds. CG is 14 on this flight. That gives me 7 units. And yes, let's set it back. There we go. And 7 units, speeds 140, 141, 147. So we have speed of just a second, 147 set. And I see something is not correct in here. Yeah, the QNH is not set. It should be 1020, 1020, and I do copy that on the other side as well. And once we set the QNH, we can set the minimum acceleration altitude. And this airport is 1000 feet above, so 1350. And we just roll it out all the way down to 1350. Sorry, my bad. Still learning. 1350, and it's set. So since we finished that one, we go to the, actually go to the chart, and I have to check, actually double check, I have to have the charts. The departure, as I told you, it's Clacton 1 Echo, it's RNAV departure, it's most common that you will get, and it has limitation of 210 knots initially, so it might require you to stay on flaps 1 or flaps 5. first turn, and it's actually, it does have, as you see, a lot of restrictions. So 4,000, 3,000, at 4,000, at 5,000, at 6,000. So what usually we would do, you would have to set all these altitudes by yourself, but I show you something. If I set, let's say, 190 as a cruising level, and I just hit VNAV, it will bring me all the way up, and including all these restrictions, so I don't have to follow them. And the thing is that I just have to check it correctly, the FFC. We have 3,000 above, 4,000, 5,000, 6,000, 6,000 Clacton, 250 below, and then we can continue to rattle or rest path. And all the way to 2,000, that's 2,000 above here, it should be at least. And that's done. Takeoff page on this side, legs page on this side, and what else? I think it's mostly done so far. I remember now. I have to change it to 190 as a cruising, and that's 500 feet as a landing one. So we're almost ready. I will start the APU, and once we've done all of this, we can go to the transit before start checklist. As you probably remember, we ended up with transit shutdown checklist. So transit before start checklist. It will be this checklist, but just the asterisk thing in here. So gear pins removed. I checked, they should be handled here. They obviously not, because of the same. Oxygen test 1%. I checked the quantity, it should be enough. Yield damper on. Natural transmission of fuel. We need 5.7. We have 5.7. We do have 4 pumps on. Fasten bands on. Window heat on. Air compress. Pipes out on bleeds on and set. Pressurisation also set to auto. And instruments are actually cross-checked. Speed brake is down to 10, so we have to pull it all the way forward, check if it's sounding, and then all the way back again. Parking brake is set, stop-and-go switch is normal, and register and transponder says standby idle and trims are 3 and 0, so I have to check it before every flight. PA, yes, I assume it's completed. FMCCD is set, so I have takeoff page, legs page in here. N1IS bugs automatic 22k in this case, and I have speeds of 140, 4147, and 147 is set in the window in here. Stop trim is 7 units required and set, and TFBF remote stowed. Phones off, lighting the cockpit door. Closed, and doors, so we do have to go to ground services. Air stairs, doors, close. The APU is available, so I put it on boss. And they can disconnect the ground power as well, remove chocks as the brake is set, and close. Passengers are seated, so that's all the thing we have to do in here. And once we are on the APU, we can get ready for pushback. So we go for the better pushback and pre-plan. Yes, we're in this stand, and in Stansted they usually do very short pushbacks, so they push you back basically beam the stand. So what they do, they push you back here and then pull you forward, beam your stand, and it will look like this. And I'm happy with this plan.
Ground to cockpit. Plan acknowledged. Call me through the menu when you're ready.
Of course, I am almost ready, so the doors are closed, and we're still waiting for the cockpit door to be closed. And some people already, huh? This is nice, it's really nice, and yep, so let's get ready for pushback. I think she will close the door soon, anytime. Maybe when I switch on the anti-collision, I can remember that. So, once the APU is on, we can do the bleed on. We have the dual bleed, which is completely normal. And request pushback. please.
Ground to cockpit. Tow is driving up.
Of course. It's always like this, the tow is not there. The tow is never there, so whenever you request pushback, it happens, the tow is not there. Is it mine? Yes, he's going to drive through the pole, huh? Okay, beacon. Lights are off, beacon is on. Parking brake is set, and transponder is going to halt off.
Flight attendants prepare for departure, cross-check.
Are you going to close the door?
Alright, we've got everyone strapped in. Give us a ring if you need anything.
Yeah, now it's closed. And once
Okay,
we
all
have
doors and
it
hatches are
done,
closed. Ready to connect.
yes, we are ready as well. So the brake is released at time 25, 8:25. That's gonna be written later on. No, he's not even connected. I think he said ready to connect. Yeah, he did. Now he's connecting.
Forward boarding door has occurred. Once simulated, all passengers remain seated at this time. Please double check the security of your seatbelt. All electronic devices will need to be turned off until away this time and doesn't include all cellular phones and two-way features. Flight attendants, please prepare your doors for departure on cross-check.
So just to keep in mind, that's non-standard, but I want to show you how the VNAV will go step by step by itself.
Tow connected and bypass pin inserted. Release parking brake.
Good, brakes released. Now it's
Starting
26.
pushback and you
1
may
minute
start
late.
engines.
Yes, we are starting pushback. Usually I would wait a couple of seconds before we start turning to start the engines, and we'll be starting 2 and 1. It takes quite long in sim, so I just start now in 2. And I wait for oil pressure, and 1. Minimum 20, optimum is 25, so 25, go to idle. EGT should start increasing. Fuel flow is there, so it looks good. And we are turning now. Nice. That's nice, it's really nice. Okay, so 56% starter is cut out, number 2 is stable, starting number 1. And again, N2, wait for the oil pressure. And this part of the flight is quite busy, especially on the ground. Maneuvering is, you know, it's always heads up. Oil pressure, N1. And yes, 20%, waiting for 25 of N2, yes, 25, back to idle. And they will pull us forward now. Nice. Air Canada on A320. How did they make them? How did they make it to Stansted from Canada on this airplane? Whatever. So basically where our beam distance we started from. 56 started out. Engine 2 is
Operation
stable.
complete. Set parking brake.
And let's unboss this. APU is off. Brakes is set.
Disconnecting tow. Stand by.
Now we have to wait until they disconnect everything. And once he will give me the signal, he's disconnected, I can start doing the other things. So, what else we have? Number 4. Yes, that's number 4. So I wait, so I have the signals, so I have 2 good starts. They can disconnect and give me signal on the left usually, but I guess he will go for right. And since he's disconnected, I go here, click, 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 Isolation valve, auto, APUs off. And flaps 5, 1, 2.
Tow is disconnected as bypass pin has been removed. Hand signal on the left. We'll see you next time and have a safe flight.
He speaks like in Stansted. And right, and the rudders, left, center, right, center. Once it's done, we go to Rico, and yeah, he's going to the left, nice. That's the first time I see him going to the left, actually, it makes sense. Even looks a bit like Stansted. They call it now blue handling, and it's gold hover. Yeah, I have a signal, and since I have the signal, I can do the before taxi checklist. Before taxi checklist, generators are on, APUs off, start switch is continuous, anti-ice is off, air conditioning packs out bleeds on, and it's set. Isolation valve, auto flaps, we have 5 required, 5 selected, and I have green light. Start trim, I have 7 units required, set. Start levers, idle tent, flight controls checked, recall is checked, we are ready for taxi, so we do blank lower view, and we do request taxi, so we taxi basically straight forward. We're gonna go here, straight, slightly right then left, and all the way down to runway 22. I check the config, and yes, clear on the left, clear on the right. And we're coming. Once we'll leave the apron, we have to do the before takeoff checklist to the line, so yeah, single crew is quite difficult, but we'll try to do it anyway. I try to do it somehow. Why you cannot taxi? And that's my bad. Sorry, that's my bad. Again, and again, and again. Clear on the left. It's quite a short taxi, and we do expect the cabin to be ready in a couple of seconds. So we taxi all the way to the hotel, and then go to Sierra 1 and wait in the holding point. And if you depart from Stansted on early duty and you taxi to the holding points, it's like 6, 7, 8 runners just before you, so it takes a long time. So it's nice to see it super empty. And yeah, it would be basically the queue in the morning would end up from here all the way here, so that's really nice. And once I will stop, I do the before takeoff checklist, but I do it in the holding point so we don't get distracted. And that's the Sierra on the right, so clear on the right, clear on the left. We have to slow down a bit. And there we go, Sierra 1. So we have 2 holding points, the one is first is here and the second one with the stop bar is there. We basically stop on the second one, as the first one is the Cat 2 or Cat 3 holding point. That doesn't apply today. If there is Cat 2 we have to stop further. So we taxi closer to the line. Basically if the line is like this or even further. Okay, the brake is set. The line, this line is like just on the window. You're still like 10 inches away, so keep in mind that the airplane is long and you basically would be blocking the airport. So let's go to before takeoff checklist. Config is checked, flaps 5 green light, stop trim I have 7 units required and set, takeoff briefing is reviewed, cabin secure, MCP. So yes, below checks below the line, all throttles, LNAV, and this airline doesn't do VNAV departure, but I set VNAV, so it will climb to 190 according to the SID, just to show you how this works. And yes, I just finished the checks. Read the checklist. Just the same today. So this one, and once we clear for lineup, we go with landing lights on. Once we clear for takeoff, taxi light on as well. So back to the checklist. MCP is set, transponder TA array, and I checked it here as well. Strobe lights are on, landing lights are on, and we do confirm clear for lineup and takeoff from runway 22, clear on the left, clear on the right, and we do line up. There's a light showing me here, so yeah, maybe I will manage, I want to crash, huh? Okay. So we line up on runway 22 in Stansted. Yeah, I did it 1,000 times or something, I guess. So once we line up, we go with timing. Advanced to 40%, stabilized, set takeoff thrust. We have takeoff thrust set indications normal. Checked. Rotate. It's too quick, but it's okay.
Positive rate.
Yeah. And we know to 15 degrees nose up. And LNAV, and at 400. Coming up. And basically the plane will fly itself. So, yeah. Approaching 1,000. The minimum use is 400. Some airlines recommend 1,000. It's a common day. And since I have this one, I can basically leave it so it will start accelerating, and as I have positive acceleration, I won't have to retract the flaps. So, okay, so flaps 1, and the first restriction is 210, 3,000 above. So it will go basically to the next restriction, which is 4,000. And speed checks, flaps are up. And yes, we have 1,000 to level off. So he will go to 4,000 and level off with 4,000. What is expected landing time? 8:37, and we expect to go 21, so we have 44 minutes. That's a short flight. Minimums I cancel, and we have lots of lights. It's overshooting a bit. The real one wouldn't overshoot it, but never expect anything. So we can do the Aftertaker Checklist, and that's done. And I think we're going to release the camera. So ding dong, they're going to be released, and the Aftertaker Checklist, air compress, is 2 units, steady, set. The rest I can do silently. Here, up and off. I'll do for that one. Up and off. Nice. I managed. First time I managed. Auto brake is off. Flaps up the light. And we wait for the altimeter, so whenever we're gonna climb to to level 190 or something, we will set the altimeter. So as you see, the next restriction Sierra Sierra Echo 18 4,000 feet. So he will go at 4,000 all the way here, speed to 50, and that's super nice because if you're doing a really complicated departure, you hit VNAV and it will just prevent altitude losses. Anyway, as we're flying, we're approaching the next point at 4,000. After that, he will climb to 5,000. But in the meantime, you can tell me which leg you can see as the next sector. So we're flying to Eindhoven, and I was thinking to go maybe to Warsaw, but I'm not really sure about it. So if you have any suggestions, just leave me a comment, please. Thanks. Anyway, thanks for the comments from the previous video. It's really nice, nice feedback. Nice to have feedback actually. And when I was cruising 190, so we will land to 3.6. In the meantime, I can go to Habitat charts and close this one. Echo Hotel. The arrival is complicated. What? Enough. And we do expect less on the runway. See, we have passed the point, and he will go to N1 VNAV speed and climb to 5,000 feet. Yeah, he shouldn't climb with this kind of rate. I mean, you shouldn't climb with this kind of rate, especially in the busy airspace like here. So he might overshoot a couple hundred feet. So usually you would just use VS. But if you forget, VNAV will make it anyway. So 5,000, 6,000. After 6,000, just cancel to usually like the rest. And we go to Eindhoven. That's Netherlands. It's a very nice airport. It's a military airport, so it's quite controlled. But yeah, it's really a pleasure to fly there. We do expect to land on the runway 21 and vacate via runway 5, taxi back to terminal via Lima. We cannot cross at Romeo 2, I remember. Or Romeo 1. Yeah, I just go to Romeo 1. All the way back to terminals. So we passed the next point and we're going to 6,000 feet now. And we have stands. Usually I do stands like Tango 1 or Sierra 1 or something, so I find something like ILS localizer, ILS Yankee, X-ray, X-ray, Yankee, X-ray, X-ray. Yeah, just go for ILS X-ray. For this one, start with the point 214. And that's it. We are 6,000. So now, once you have 190 set in here, and there is restriction 6,000. Once you cancel this one, it will go to 190 as it has no restrictions. Same with the speed. You can cancel the speed or actually open the speed window in this case because it's below. And passing transition, so set standard, and we have 6,000 3 times standard set, and passing 60 to 190. 190 is final level, so it's set 1, 2, 3 times, and we do monitor 1 to 1, 5. So climb 25 miles to top of climb, and we have 114 to top of descent, so we actually could go higher, but the ATC wouldn't let us go probably here. And yes sir, launch arrival, ILS X-ray 21, the red fan. We'll see how does it go in a second. Anyway, plan. We have Ratlow, red fan, Hotel Sierra Delta, Kili, and that makes sense totally for me. And we are 100, 180, 10 checks, so as a 10 checks. Fuel above, we switch off the lights. Fuel is balanced, we have 4 pumps, lights are off, APS off, air compress, we have 4.6 climbing and set. And at this level, the cabin will maintain the landing altitude elevation, so it shouldn't be climbing. If you set it 190 below, the cabin will stay on the landing altitude 500 feet, which makes sense totally here. I'm happy to release passengers, and we do check the recall. That's 10 checks, and Aftertaker Checklist completed, and we can prepare for the approach in Eindhoven. So we are ILS. X-ray localizer, X-Runway 21, we have localized frequency 10975, 10975 on the ILS, not GLS, 10975. And this side is going to 10975, and it's active, and the box 10975 213, and final approach course is 214, and the chart is 2019, so I just go to 213 to keep it consistent with the FMC. 213, 213, frequencies are set. And that's it. Then we go to the minimums. Oh, this approach I got be 267. Why is it? Yeah, okay, no, it's not 500 feet. Elevation, of course. So the minimums, we are preparing for the minimums to 5. Again, 257. 257. We go on this side as well. Minimums we set 257, and it's no, sorry, 267, 257, 267. And 267 here. Now we have 3,000 feet to level up. So basically the last 2,000 we have the last 2,000 feet vertical speed. And basically to keep it faster we can go 310 or 320, so it's not pulling down. And the last 1,000 we'll go with 1,000 feet. Pretty short flight to be honest, so yeah, 1,000 to go. Yes, 1,000.
Thousand to go.
Nice. Nice. What else I can say? So once we are level, we have to start briefing for landing. Eindhoven, we do experiment 1. Once we have the capture in here, the vertical speed goes to Eindhoven, go back to Wiener. And Red Factory Echo. So yes, we go to Red Factory and Stansted, Hotel Sierra Delta. Usually we would go to Hotel Sierra Delta from here already. They give us some shortcuts. So it's Stansted, Elnaf, Altaquar actually, and once we have outboard, we go back to Wiener. So she's flying by herself. And that's nice and short flight. It's quite entertaining, I would say. So it's not like spending all day at work, just flying, but you have to do something. And yes, how does it look? So once we done this one, we go to progress. We have 600 kilograms to burn. We have 65 trees, so we're gonna be 64 and 7. I land on flaps 30 this time, and I go to break 3 and idle reverse. So speaking of a briefing, descent is set 250 below 100. I don't know why I cannot change this one. Now I can. I couldn't in Stansted. 250 below 100. It's executed. I put 218 here, so speed up a little. And descent set, forecast set, and we do expect a QNH. I cannot still listen to the 80s, I don't know what's the reason, but I just have the weather from here, from the flight plan, and Eindhoven should be QNH 1022, which would make sense for me. 1022, and I pre-select 1022 here, back to standard, and 1023 here. And what it's saying, 1022. 1017, I thought it should do 1022. That's done. The arrival we have discussed. The approach we have 213, 213, 1097, 213, 213, 1097, 1095, and I have 213 in here. The course on the chart is 214, but that's the old chart, and I do have new database, so it's going to be 214. And that's it. Landing auto brake 3 VRF for flaps 30, it's 148. So that's quite quick. And if you have no questions, descent check is going to be. And one thing I have to change, it's 50, not 500. And as you see, the pressurisation panel, where is it? Yeah, it's maintaining the cabin altitude at 0, so it's not climbing because we're flying too low. And descent checklist, pressurisation is 50 set, anti-ice is off, approach fuel discussed, ISO box, we have flaps 3148, 267, checklist at both sides. Descent check is completed, and I can show you how does VNAV will bring us down all the way. If we go to descent forecast and we use, let's say, 150, level 150 and level 100 to be kind of equal, I use just this wind, 280 by 40, and I put it here. QNH 1022, invalid entry, okay, so there's no slash. The real one doesn't need slash, 1022. And this wind would be like 280 by 20, level 200, 100. And I put it in, the top of descent is here, and all the restrictions are in, so I go 2000 watt in here, and that's final approach point at 2000. So if I show you VNAV, if I set 2000 here, which is the start of the approach, and it's showing 2000 in here as well. Yes, we do start from 2000. So basically, once I set 2000, if I would be clear for it, and I don't have any shortcuts or something, she will start descending and capturing all the profiles itself, all the way down to minimums. So I'm not going to touch the MCV. You can say, I'll show you, you can see it yourself. And that's it. So one last thing I would do, it's a PA level of captain, probably. So as we approach the top of descent, you will see it will just enter descent itself. It will descend by yourself basically. Follow the flight path expected, and that's it. The last thing I should do is fix this as runway 21, and I'm gonna go with 10 and 4. Some people put the fix for top of descent. I don't do it myself, I don't need it. I can calculate this like 107 times, yeah, 107 miles, and we have to descend 190, so we're gonna need like 60 miles to descend. So the top of descent from this would be about 40 miles, I would say, and this one is 822. It's pretty much more or less accurate one. So yeah, I leave you for 3 minutes, and yeah, just keep it flying. Hey folks, I'm back. Sorry for the little break. So, if you like my channel, please subscribe, give me comments, give me suggestions, and if you like to see the real flying, visit the other channel, the 737 Aviation. You can find the link on the main page of the channel. And I'm posting basically the real life flights from 737 and the other one. Anyway, I'm trying to work on the sound, so hopefully sounds are better. But we will see, and I have to get ready and do the live stream one day. To be honest, I don't know which software I should use for live streaming, so I'm not using it, but yeah, I have to try it finally. Usually, in this case, if I have 10 miles to top of descent, I would hit the RT button, so it will start descending. But as I want to show you, I just leave it like this, and once she will get to top of descent, like half mile before, she will go just straight to retard, and once she will retard throttles, it will go back to the arm. So that's the difference. Nice. And what else you would like to see? Maybe some kind of system quiz or something? I was wondering what would be interesting for you. Actually, Sat has a lot of systems, so it's a lot of things to do and talk about. Yeah, we are approaching top of descent in 2 miles, so just show you how does it work like. And yeah, you see, 1 mile before top of descent, goes straight to retard, retards thrust, goes back to arm, and that's it. The other thing is that I cannot, while reverse, if I touch the joystick it will just go all the way, it will go mad, so. And if the wind has changed, it might be a bit slower or faster, but if you go to legs, go to top leg, active, execute, it will just recalculate it for the current wind, and it might add some thrust. If it's below 15 knots it will just add thrust, and if it's above it will just overspeed, so you have to be careful as well. And since we have 15 minutes to landing, we have to switch on the modes, and it's done. Now I do have the airports. The previous one I didn't have any, so I don't know why. Do have full database, I believe, so. And we should see Amsterdam somewhere in there, but that's too far. Echo Hotel, Victor Sierra, I don't know what is it, but I can go to Habitat map. Yeah, that's some Dutch cities. Sorry for that. If you're Dutch, I don't want to offend you, but I can't even read it. I know Breda, Rotterdam, yeah, that's easy. And Amsterdam, Rotterdam, I should see Rotterdam on the left. Yeah, it's really nice city. So. Okay, we should have like 15 minutes from now, 14, so actually it's 12 minutes. Echo India Fox Romeo Oscar, that's the correct one. So basically, if you are LNAV, VNAV and everything is engaged, the one thing you would have to do is monitor the progress page, the distance, and start extending the flaps according to schedule. And that's what we'll do, and we'll arm the approach later on. We will see that it's really a lot less workload, and it's really sophisticated system. But the thing is that you have to monitor everything, so basically airlines would just roll out all the altitudes one by one. You don't do like 42,000 just descent. Minutes of recording. By the way, do you know any nice software for live streaming? If you know, just leave it on the live chat or the comment. And I promise next time I will try to do the live stream myself. And once we are approaching 10 minutes to landing, so we can do it early. So 10 checks we can do early. We do the flap check. So fuel is balanced. We have 4 pumps. Lights are on. We have runway turnoff, landing, and logo if needed. Angle of bank is 25 degrees as we haven't touched it. Air compress 5.2, and it's 0 because we are at 190. Belts are on. Recall checked, and then 10 minutes to landing. PA is done. So that's the 10 checks, and we continue descending to 2,000 feet. Inbound to Gilliff, is it? Yes, Gilliff. And this turn at Gilliff is quite tight, as you see, but if you want the airplane to make it nicely, you can put the restriction like he has 185, you can put speed 160 or below at this, so he won't overshoot it. But if you put the speed change, he might be above or below the path anyway. And obviously in the real FMC he would just go, it's not like the angle, but it's really nicely done turn. And the other thing, if you want to smooth the turn, you can go to Gilliff and create like this angle is like 290, is it? It should be like 290 by 3 miles, let's say, and you put it on top. And it will create this kind of point, but you have to get the ATC approval for that, obviously. So you cannot just do it yourself, but if you get approved for self-maneuvering, you can just create this kind of points, and it will go a little bit smoother on that. Let me go back to map mode. See now speed is back to 250, he should start decelerating. We are 500 feet below the path, so it should actually decelerate nicely. Good. 10 minutes to landing, and we have belts, the cabin is already done, so I assume it's secure for landing. And once we are passing transition, we can go back to QNH. So QNH 1022, 1022 and 1022 on the F4 site. Set 3 times, 9,400 descending 2,000, standby set. And we can check the frequencies. So 109.75, 109.75 active on the other box. 109.75, course 213, 213, 213. So frequencies, rings 10, 421, Idens, Echo, Hotel, Oscar. Echo, Hotel, Oscar is here, and it's on the other side as well. It doesn't have it here. I don't know why. It's second flight where it doesn't have it. Standby instruments are set, and the courses are 213, 213, 213 volts. And Pro checklist, ultimate instruments, set cross checked, approach aids, check and set. Next is landing checklist. So that's all done. Good. So we are landing in 7 minutes. We still have 20 miles to go, so we have 7 minutes to landing. I put it. You should actually try to have the scale in this way that you see where are you going. So it would work like this probably. The weather outside is changing for some reason. Okay, sorry, I was replying for some comments on the channel. So, yes, we're descending to 2000. We are a bit too quick. As you see, we have 20 miles and she's saying track required, so we can give it some speed brake. Once we have speed brake, it will go a little below the flight path and it will start reducing speed soon. Anyway, so 246, 17 miles to go. I can go with flaps 1, so speed checks. And I have flaps 1, so flaps 5, speed checks. I do have flaps 5. Since I'm on flaps 5, I can actually retract the speed brake by arm it already for landing. I don't think I will use it anymore. We are passing through some clouds, but the temperature is plus 10, so we don't need the anti-ice if it's 10 or more. But I like, if I'm passing through some precipitation or weather or whatever, I just put start switches to continuous. And what else? We are, let's say we are clear for approach. We do have correct sensing, not yet, but I switch on taxi light as we are clear to land anyway. And it should go to correct sensing any second. As we're gonna go less than 90 degrees, this one will just pop on the other side, and that means that we have pretty much correct sensing and we can arm the approach. We have the identifier, yes, Echo Hotel Zulu on the other side. Yeah, it's very late, this one's very late. And we should be turning, yeah, of course it will overshoot it. If you see it's overshooting, yeah, the real one would just bring it nicely back, but this one will just overshoot it, and we have to go to flaps 10, level change. I wanted to show you, but it doesn't work really. Level change, we are slightly too high. Heading select, go back to the route. And since we are correct sensing, I can arm the approach. And we are on the glide slope. And on heading. One to go, which is checked. I go back to the localizer, so I captured localizer nicely.
1,000 to go.
Checked. We see the ground, so it's not so bad. And if you go to this one, you can have the terrain display as well.
2,500.
Actually, we already even a bit too low. That's even worse. So we're avoiding the level segment. So VS 350, which is minimum. Polo captured. Runway heading is 213. And the glide stop will be captured in a second. So that's the point. You can sit the crew down. So we go to PA system. Prepare for landing. Good. Lights of capture, miss approach is very low, 2000 feet. Go key down, flaps 15. And the checklist to flaps. So this very cool. And start switch. So Landing checklist starts with continuous recall check, speed brake, light landing gear, down to green, auto brake is 3, and we're holding flaps, so we have to reduce speed obviously. We have good speed, so flaps 30, speed checks. And we reduce speed VREF plus 5, 140 plus 5, 145. That's 148 plus 5, is it? So 153, it's heavy landing now. 153. Flaps 30 green lights, landing lights are on, and that's landing checklist completed. So basically that's all done, we clear to land, and we can disconnect the autopilots, all throttles, and land. So all throttles going off, and with this mass and this weight actually it would require a bit more of power, so I go about 63% probably. Yes, sounds about right. 58, 60 maybe ish. And I disconnect the autopilots. There we go. Maybe this landing will be better than the previous one. The Stansted one was actually really not nice, so we'll see. Maybe this one will be better. 156 is quite quick landing, but she's heavy. It's full of passengers and cargo, so this would be normal speed for the 737 at this weight. And 500 was stabilized, approaching minimums.
Approaching minimums.
Checked.
Minimums.
Continue. I go on 2 whites, 2 reds, so the glide stop will go in any place.
50, 40, 30, 20, 10.
Speed brakes up. You deploy the reverses, and if it's heavy landing, we just go for reverse. Below 100,
80 knots.
braking, 80 knots, start reducing thrust. And 60 knots. We should be at idle reverse, but we don't stall the reverses yet. 10 knots, we are good to turn off the runway. Okay, this landing was a bit better, so I go to terrain. Lights off. And I do the FO flow in a second. Just locate the runway. The time is, yeah, it's getting late in here. I spent all day working actually, and now I'm just flying the sim, which is ridiculous. But I like it, it's fun. It's a lot of fun actually. Where the white line is going, it's going somewhere to the forest. Okay, there's a forest taxiway something. Yeah, it's unreal, but it's going to forest. Yeah, next time I try to taxi there. Okay, so once we vacated, I just stop again, set the brakes, do the FO flow. So this, steady. Transponder going to TA, alt off, and this one is going to alt number plus 100, and this is going back to 100. Auto brake off. Flaps are up, and then we can continue taxiing. So, have you got any ideas for the next destination maybe? I was thinking about the Manchester, as you said on the last premiere, but maybe Manchester then? I just have to check if it's real route Manchester to Eindhoven to Manchester. Okay, so that's a long taxi in Eindhoven. I'm already losing my voice, as you can hear probably. So I have spent all day talking and air conditioning and stuff, so that's the way to lose your voice nicely, huh? And if the airplane is heavy, I would just taxi onto 2 engines and maybe switch on the engine number 2 whenever I approach the stands. So yeah, we still have 2 engines, we're moving quite quickly, but on 2 engines, and we have to take the last one. We cannot really take this one. I don't know why. I think it's because of the weight of the airplane, of the 737. But we have to take the last one. We taxi back all the way to stands, and in this case I have to start the APU because there is no ground power available, at least not so quick. 26 knots of taxi, that's a bit too quick. Okay, slowing down, clear on the left, clear on the right, and we turn to the right. Knots during the turn. If I'm do 12, that's still okay, but they will call me someday. Clear to cross the runway, and once we're crossing the runway, we should go strobe lights on. So we switch it on for a couple of seconds so the people around will see you. And you try to cross the runway, like, you know, you don't get sluggish like me, but you have to do it. At least try to do it quickly, so not getting stuck on the runway. Okay, once we cross the runway, strobes are going back. And APU is already on, and APU on process. Now once we are crossed, I can go number 2 cut off. And I will just take the first stand on the left. Master caution ELEC, that's associated. And once we are entering the apron, lights are going to off. Max wingspan 36, that's pretty much what we have, 35 is 9, so 36. And yeah, that's not the stand. Yeah, where I'm going? Where am I going? I wanted to go into this one. I wanted to go here. Can I make it? We'll see. Should be easy, huh? And in this one you would usually get the marshaller, so it would be easier to taxi. Not like, you know, blindfolded. And it's really not much you can see out of the flight deck. So if you have marshallers, it's really nice. So I was just wondering if there is an add-on for X-Plane with the marshalling. Would be really nice. Okay, so I'm here. Parking brake should be set. The AP is there, so cut off. Seatbelts. Some slides, open doors. Welcome to Eindhoven, and we open the lower DU again, and we go to standby. So back, ground services, chocks, doors. It's still locked. Okay, because I have beacon on. So it's below 20, I go to off, and I will do my flow. So ground power is available on pause. This is going to off. This is going to off. Packs are auto. Let's open wheel well for the guy to do the checks. And it's done. We open the door. We open the forward cargo. Esters and should look like this. Once it's all open, you can do the transit shutdown checklist. So transit shutdown, electrical on the ground power. Fasten belts are off, probe heat is auto, anti-ice is off, voice recorder is on, aircon packs are auto, engine bleeds is on, AP bleeds is off. External lights are steady, start switches are off. Speed brake down detent, flaps up no lights, parking brake sets, transponder. Sorry, where I stopped. Parking brake set, start levers cut off. Yes, weather radar is off. CPS B in cockpit door unlocked. That's transit shutdown checks completed. So guys, once again, thank you for watching, and I'm waiting for a suggestion for the next video. And welcome to Eindhoven. Thank you. Bye bye.